what was the process like of actually getting the job and going through the interview process? You know, actually the moment where they told you, hey, you're going to be the head coach at Syracuse, and what was that like?
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't even in the race. Like, people were just saying it because they wanted me to do it. But the AD wasn't thinking about me, wanted a former head coach. And my mindset was like, why you want a former loser? Right? Like, that's just how I was thinking about it. Like, why you want somebody that was losing, right? It's not like somebody walked away on top like Nick Saban, right? So, like, why you want a guy that was losing? Like, why don't you go with somebody else? Because, like, people don't usually change their ways, right? They kind of say, oh, I'm going to do it this way this time, but they can't stick to that. You are who you are. And for me, it was like my agent and myself, Jimmy Sexton, shout out to him, and some different people that I talked to that we got to meet with here. Honestly, Carmelo Anthony, just different people that said they're going to vouch for my name, but my agent was like, hey, we decided that I call. And we was like, yo, how about we call? I want to talk to him myself, right? And then I just got the call and I talked to John Wildhack and he didn't pick up. I texted him, this Fran Brown, I know you're hearing a lot about me, but the best way to find out about me is through me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you who I am. And I said, I just need 10 minutes and then I won't waste your time. And that 10 minutes went for like a half hour, and then we were supposed to speak on Thanksgiving night. He asked, could I speak Thanksgiving night? I think he was trying me to see if I was going to do it.
On Thanksgiving?
And I'm like, yeah, right?
Of
I'm
course.
like, yeah, whatever. And then he's like, let's go about 8:39, right in the midst of like the family time. And I was like, cool. And we was on there for like almost 2 hours. And he ended up talking to my wife and my daughter and just everybody. And then, you know, I talked to the search firm right afterwards, Bob Bodine, and they told me come in for an interview. And when I hung up and they told me I was getting an interview, so I'm getting a job.
Yeah,
like,
it's over.
They gave me a shot. I didn't care. And I was seeing the names of who they was telling me. And Aaron was laughing like, hey, this guy's been a good coach though this week. I was like, man, you ain't got to tell me nothing about none of them. None of them could beat me, right? And that's like my mindset. They're not going to outwork me. So I'm not worrying about who else is going for the job. I'm going to prove myself right? And that was my mindset, my main thing I wanted to be able to do.
Yeah. What was the actual moment where they told you you were getting the job?
On Monday. He was supposed to wait. I wasn't supposed to find out Monday. So when they called me Monday and told, I was waiting to Tuesday. When they called me Monday and said it, I was just like, the search firm called and they said, hey, you're going to be the head coach. And I was like, you for real? And he was like, yeah. And he said, how you feel? I was like, good. I was like, you mind praying with me? I just want to pray. I just want to like, make sure it's right. I wanted to cry, but I was in the hallway at Georgia, and I didn't want to have everybody in my business, and I wanted to make sure I got to tell Kirby first, and he told me, then I just called my wife, and I was in my office, and I was like, yo, they just said, like, we got the job, T, and I couldn't believe it. And she was like, are you for real? I was like, yeah. She was hollering, she was happy, and then I was like, we got to show them who we are. We got to do it right? And then me and her prayed. And, you know, we got to pray, and just like, we're going to do this the right way. And it was pretty cool. That was just like, that was the whole base of it, right? It was like they told me, and it was more prayer than it was like, oh, I'm hyped. It was just like, I was just thankful because I know how much I was asking God for the opportunity and saying all the stuff that I would do. And then it was me telling him, I'm not going to let you down, God. Like, watch what I do, watch where I'm at, and I'm going to just keep pushing, and I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it the way I told you I would do it if I got the chance, and I know you know that I'm ready now, right? So, I mean, that's what it was, honestly.
Yeah, my favorite part of that story is when you want something, the people who get it usually are the ones who go make it happen. Like, if you wouldn't have sent that text to the AD,
if I ain't talked to
you
him,
would have never gotten it, right?
Nah, he would have hired somebody else. Because some of the people didn't want me to have the job.
Like, you willed the thing to happen.
Yeah, they just kept pushing, right? Just like life, right? When you want something to happen, faith and hard work. And I tell our players, like, it's kind of who I am, what I'm about, and it's been who I have been my entire life, right? Just work extremely hard, because hard work gets you respect, right? So it's kind of what it's been.